In this video, I'm going to show you the most important features of GitHub Copilot in just a few minutes. To get started, click the cute little aviator icon at the top of your project, and this brings you to a chat window. If you use the chat window, you will be redirected to a sign-in screen to sign in with your GitHub account to get access to all the free features. Now that we're signed in, we can use this chat window. Now, there's a few important features to know about in the chat. The most important one is probably this Add Context button. That brings up a menu where you can select different types of information that you'd like to add to the AI chat context, such as files and folders, extra prompts, screenshots, and the like, that will give the AI extra information that it might need to know to complete its task. Now, there's another way that we can add context, which is just by typing the hash symbol in the text field, and that will bring up this inline selection menu. So I'm going to select a function that I'm curious about, and then I'll just ask, what does this function do? Now, Copilot Chat actually has three different modes: edit, chat, and agent. And since this is a simple question, I'm going to use ask mode. We can also choose the LLM. I'll just keep the default, which is GPT 4.1. Now I hit return and I let Copilot work. It's given me a pretty in-depth explanation of what that function does, and I'm happy with that. Now, if we want to go back and erase some chat messages that we don't need anymore, we can actually use this undo button, which is at the top of the chat window. So that's a quick way to clear the chat history. Now for this next task, I want to actually do something a bit more complicated. So I'll go back into agent mode, and I'm going to ask Copilot Chat to add an intro screen to the game that I'm working on. It first puts out a little plan, and then it starts editing files within my project. Now we can see the progress as it moves along, and I can see that it decided to edit just this one file, game.js. Now we have buttons here that allow us to keep and undo the AI generated changes, but normally we want to review all of these changes line by line in the code editor. So that's what these controls here allow us to do. And I'm just going to step through each of the changes to give it a little sanity check to make sure everything looks good. And so let's do that for all 5 of the changes. And when we're happy with that, we can click this blue keep button to keep all of the changes. Now, another thing that we can do in agent mode is we can actually have it run commands. So I'm going to ask it to test the game, and it's going to propose a terminal command to run. I want to make sure that this terminal command is actually correct, and then I can click continue. It's going to run that in a new terminal shell in my local development environment. Looks like it's running, so let's open the test server. And here's the game with the newly generated start screen. So now I'm going to stop running agent. And that's it for the chat sidebar. Now let's just have a look at a few other useful features. One of those is inline edit, which I can access by this little drop-down menu next to the Copilot icon. And if I click editor inline chat, it opens this little bar where I can actually ask it to make changes directly in the code editor, and then I can accept those, or if I don't want to apply them, I can just click close. There's also a quick chat. And the quick chat is really similar to the sidebar chat, but it comes up here at the top. So I asked it to help me find a particular part of the code. And by clicking on the link that it generated, it brings me right to the part of the code that I'm interested in. One last feature, and that is autocomplete. So as you're coding, you'll often see these little grayed out suggestions. And those are completely generated by the LLM as real time. If you don't want to use the suggestion, you can just keep typing. If you want to apply the suggestion, all you have to do is hit tab. And that's it for now. This has just been a brief overview of the most fundamental features of GitHub Copilot. I hope it was useful.